Racing, you wanted the best, you got them four abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pocono. Here we go with the Salt Flat Cup Series once again live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. My name's Chris, and bringing you all the action tonight, myself and my good friend Rick Hammond Jr. Rick, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, brother. To be here at the Tricky Triangle tonight.
Oh man, you know, love this track. Why? Well, it's kind of where we got our name, Turn 3 Racing Network. What Turn 4? You see it off in the distance. What Turn 4 indeed? We don't need that.
No, we don't.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the race information here tonight. It's going to be 75 laps at this 2.5 mile track. And it's called Pocono. Like I said, 3 different corners here, very different corners, in fact. So it's going to be a matter of who can negotiate those corners the best here tonight. Temperature outside going to be 70 degrees. And the track temperature, 76 degrees. So pretty ideal conditions, honestly, for a race, which is exactly what we're going to be putting on here in just a little bit. Have it on good authority that we're going to be kicking over into qualifying here a little bit soon. Yeah, Roger, you should have seen this thing like half an hour ago. I swear you couldn't have seen the cars, but it is starting to clear up here at Pocono. And we're getting ready to go. We've got Chris Brown. We got quite a few drivers there tonight. We're gonna hope to get everybody on. Chris Brown out front in the speed charts here during practice. His fast lap time, a 53.23, and so he is actually burning up the track when you look at some of the other times. That's my campsite. Looking like a turn. Hell yeah, absolutely, brother. Nonetheless, Salt Flat Cup Series are going to be live here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and we certainly can't wait to bring you all the action. And there will be some high-speed action tonight. The draft will be in effect here at Pocono as these guys reach some speeds close to 190 miles an hour at some parts of this track. Chris Brown wrecked you? Coming out of turn... That's... He's no longer on the screen. Forget that guy. Jamie Leach in the 13. Going to be the new topic of conversation. Jamie Leach, third quickest here in practice. His quick lap time of 53.42. Tire drop off from what we're seeing, Rick, is pretty real here.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, Hagedorn just ate the wall.
Jamie Leach has been out on track for 19, almost 20 laps, and we're showing about a second drop off in that quick a time. So absolutely, tire drop off is a thing here at Pocono. Gonna have to watch out for that as Leach brings it, well, a little sideways actually is what he brings it. Cody Levitt out on track, a good race for him last week. Podium finish for Cody. We were surprised too. Don't worry about it, we were surprised too. Rick, you were not around last week, but yeah, Cody had a good race.
Yeah, no, I watched a little bit there at the campsite. I mean, we didn't have the best Wi-Fi there, but...
You know, blame it on the Wi-Fi.
Well, you know, you gotta have that. I mean, it's in that, and I'm watching it on my phone. So I didn't bring no other electronics other than my phone.
And Cody is actually the only driver out there right now, so I guess we watch him. Feeney, get out there. I gotta have somebody else to talk to. There he is. Hey, it's the Liquid Molly. Number 83, Brandon Feeney. You ever notice Brandon Feeney's name isn't capitalized?
I have, yeah.
All right. I
It's
just wanted to
supposed
make
put
sure.
it exactly when you sign up for iRacing, it's exactly on how your name shows up on your credit card. It says. That's why we have some people out there that's dear valued customer.
Another name that's making his way back out on track for the Salt Flat Cup Series. Haven't seen him in a long time. How about Orlando Rivera out there in the 08? And with the fog, yeah, you can still see it. It's pretty purple. It's a purple car.
Depending on what camera you use there, it's almost like a little ghost car, man. You can just barely make it out.
Let's take a peek. Oh,
Well,
all the way
Bennett
on
did
camera
tell me
3. Yeah, that's way out
Yeah.
there.
Well, Bennett did tell me that they installed the fans here this weekend, so hopefully this blows out.
Yeah, it will. I'm pretty sure.
And if not, we'll just let the viewers figure out if we're at Twin Ring or if we're at Pocono. It's all good.
Could be either. That was the race that went on broadcasted. Too darn foggy that night.
No cameras worked. It didn't matter if we did far chase, close chase. It didn't matter.
Oh gosh, yeah. Get in a chase. Oh, that works really good. You can see just how purple it is. Hey, another driver that's returning to the fold here. Lee Campbell in the 14 Office Depot machine. It's not like he's taking a lot of time off, but I don't believe, man, now I got to think. I guess he was there last week. Yeah, he was. You see something that I see? I'm telling you, there's more Fords here than I've seen in a long time. Jared Hagedorn and his Milwaukee number 2. Jason Dobbs Griffith is going to be driving a Ford. Lee Campbell's driving a Ford. And Hunter Reynolds going to be driving a Ford. So we got 4 of them out there.
There used to be 8, but they had to use some to get the other ones to run, so they cut it down to 4.
Wow. That hurts.
And I mean, exciting news, we do have a Yoda out there. Of course, he hasn't gone out on track yet. He's probably running from ice right now. Running for ice, I mean.
4 from something like that. You're absolutely right. Danny Venezuela driving the lone Toyota Camry out there. But not right now. Right now, he's sitting on pit road. I think he wants to be called Sir Danny Venezuela from now on, Rick.
Okay. I'm not calling him Sir, though. It's going to be Senor.
There you go. His crew ready to go tonight? Has not had the season that he's been looking for. I don't know that he's actually finished a race yet this season.
He's finished it just earlier than every other driver out there. That's
True.
all.
Yeah, you're right. All the action brought to you by SimBox. Make sure if you're looking for a button box, SimBox PC over on Facebook is the way to go. If you're looking for anything in particular, they are sure to be able to get it done for you. Make sure you check them out. SimBox PC on Facebook. As we follow the Ford around, I think we have just a couple of more minutes to go before we get into qualifying. I think we're going to step away and get the anthem in and maybe a commercial or maybe in the opposite direction, but we're going to step away for just a moment. We're live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Don't you dare go away.
We got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. way back to pit lane, press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave
And we're back live and ready to get the grid going. Let's go ahead and do that now. On the pole tonight, it's going to be the number 1, the driver out of Indiana. It's going to be Chris Brown. On his outside, out of the deeper, darker dew crew, that's the number 38 of Cody Levitt. Starting inside row number 2, it's going to be the 00 SimBox Motorsports car, driven by Nate Maurer. And to his outside, out of the 128 Racing Camp, it's the number 28 of Hunter Reynolds. Starting inside row number 3 is out of the deeper, darker dew crew. It's the number 13 of Jamie Leach. And to his outside, out of Beefy Motorsports, the lone Canadian in the field, the 83 of Brandon Feeney. Starting inside row number 4, it's going to be the driver out of New York. It's the number 14 of Lee Campbell. Starting in the 8th spot tonight. And oh boy, if you want to try and say it, you can. It's a
banana.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It's Orlando Rivera, driving the 08 SimBox Motorsports, number 77, Doug Neal, going to be starting inside row number 5, and to his outside, it's going to be the GBR Racing number 2, driven by Jared Hagedorn. Griffith Racing number 98, driven by Jason Griffith, going to start inside row number 6, and to his outside, the 31 out of Keystone Motorsports, driven by Donald Bennett. Sir Danny Venezuela out of Draft Top Raise Energy, driving the 04, going to start in the 13th spot. To the 14th spot goes the Coast to Almost Coast driver of the number 26. That's Daryl Calder. Special shout out to Stephen Herman, the 711, not a driver, but he is race control. That's going to be our field tonight as we get ready to go live racing here at Pocono. We're in our formation lap, the 1 leading the way. And just a moment, we're going to set these cars afire. Well, maybe not a fire, Rick.
Maybe not a fire.
That'd be bad. Yeah.
I mean, neither that or you're looking on my computer. I'm ordering my couple of thick bags of fire department coffee right now. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I was doing that. Quick correction. Brian Feeney kind of put it in chat, but it's true. 60 laps, not 75 here tonight.
I thought I could swear I read somewhere 75 laps, but that's okay.
3 sets of tires to get around this 2.5 mile track. That's going to be a handful. As the pace car takes a hard left-hand turn, Chris Brown, the driver of the number 1, leads the way as we take the green flag. And heading into corner number 1, Chris Brown on the inside, going to keep control of the race lead. Behind him, Cody Levitt, Nate Maurer, your top 3. Right behind Maurer is going to be Leach in the 13. And here comes Hunter Reynolds on the inside. A good run from the 28, looking to make it more. He's up to 4th spot, wants to make it more. As Hunter Reynolds takes it down low, he's got a little help from Brandon Feeney. Feeney back up to the outside. Early action here on lap number 1.
Aaron Reynolds, the really only driver that was hanging out in that bottom lane, Chris, and Feeney goes down there to help him as they head into turns number 3, across that start-finish line. Feeney goes back up, but Hunter Reynolds still trying, but he's going to lose now because the 13 of Leach and the 83 of Feeney gets around Reynolds. He's got to be careful because the 14 of Lee Campbell's right there too.
Well, we said it right at the top of the broadcast. The draft can be your friend here, and Brandon Feeney proving that out as he stayed behind Jamie Leach and picked up a little additional speed over Hunter Reynolds. Reynolds now trying to find his way to the inside, almost contact with the 14. Lee Campbell had to give up a little bit of time on the racetrack because the 28 was coming up whether he was ready to or not. Now the 28 with a good run off the corner, going to take it down low, and he is side by side with the 83 of Brandon Feeney. Feeney now falling back a spot as the 28 had a good run of momentum, but on the outside, Brandon Feeney gonna once again lead the way in the 5th spot over Hunter Reynolds. Back up front, Chris Brown just over Cody Levitt. Levitt right on the back bumper along with Nate Maurer in the 3rd spot. Leach starting to fall back just a little bit in 13.
And speaking of Leach, he just posted a really fast time of 53.28 there on that last lap, Chris. So there's a lot of speed there in that number 13 car. See if he can do anything with it tonight. He's already up 1 position since the drop of the green flag to move into 4th. And now he's got to catch up to Maurer.
Biggest mover on the track right now, Darrell Calder in the 26, up 3 spots into the 11th spot. Now taking a peek down to the inside of DB. Donald Bennett might be going down a spot as Darrell Calder works his way to the inside with his number 26, and Orlando Rivera hits the wall. He comes off the wall, able to hold on to it, keeps it going in the right direction, but that was, we're watching Darrell Calder. He fell back in line. Donald Bennett safe in 10th right now. Up to Jared Hagedorn in the number 2 Milwaukee car. He's running in the 8th spot, up to, like I said, from the drop of the green flag. Here we are on lap 4 already. Hagedorn looking pretty strong right now, and in front of him, that battle wages on, still with Hunter Reynolds and Brandon Feeney. Oh, they make contact!
Oh.
Big time contact, and everybody's able to keep it going in the same direction. The car that's going to get the best benefit, Jared Hagedorn in the 2. Hagedorn coming out of nowhere, up 5 spots right now.
He's just trying to find a way around that inside lane of the 28 of Reynolds right now. Reynolds, I mean, been fighting back and forth, so the tires are getting abuse on that 28 Ford Mustang, but right now it is the battle of the Mustangs and the 2 looking very fast on that inside lane.
A little
close, almost touched.
A little contact may have been made between the 2 and the 28 as the 2 takes the spot over up to 5th spot after starting in 10th. Jared Hagedorn looking strong out there in that Ford Mustang. The other Ford, well, we got 3 in a row. So the 14 Ford of Lee Campbell also trying to figure out a way around Hunter Reynolds right now. Campbell right where he started tonight in the 7th spot. We look in on our race leaders once again. Chris Brown leading the way in the 1 car. Behind him, Cody Levitt, Jamie Leach. Leach up into the 3rd spot. And Nate Maurer falling 1 into 4th. So Jamie Leach up 2 to that 3rd place spot. A potential podium run here for the 13. He needs it desperately. It's not been a great season for Leach. He's been consistent, but just out of the top 3. Can he break that here tonight?
And really, that top 4, Chris, they got their own little party going on there with those 4 vehicles. Of course, they're all Chevys pulling away from them Fords, but you know it's going to happen. Hagedorn got some work to do to catch up to the 00 of Maurer right now.
Yeah, Maurer doing a good job, and he goes down to the inside looking for a spot against Leach. Maurer trying to use the draft. He's going to try and take it away from Jamie Leach in the 13. The 13 on the outside in turn number 3. They're side by side coming down the front stretch. Jamie Leach going to power in front. Across the line, Jamie Leach back into the 3rd spot. You have to be careful with that draft.
What Maurer and Leach need to do right now, Chris, is just get nose to tail and just get up to the back bumper of Cody Levitt, because Levitt's starting to pull away from both drivers right now too.
Yeah, top 2 drivers starting to break away and form their own little pack. But Leach right now still in that sniff of draft. And as long as he can stay there, he's going to be just fine. He should be able to pull right back to the back bumper of the 38. As long as he doesn't use up his equipment. That's something we have to watch out for. But Jamie Leach doing a good job closing that gap right now as they round out a turn number 3 back onto the front stretch. Next time by, we're going to be working lap number 8, and Chris Brown has led them all.
Yeah, Brown's number 1 machine looking very strong here tonight, Chris. I mean, we saw it during practice too. That 1 machine right up to the top of the speed charts there. Levitt was hanging out where he is right now, but still a lot of racing to go.
Back a little further in the pack, a battle brewing for the 9th spot. Donald Bennett on the outside has it. Daryl Calder on the inside wants it. Calder on the inside in the light blue car, and on the outside, it looks like Donald Bennett's going to be pushed through. He's got Brandon Feeney on the back bumper. Feeney helping out with the draft. They both go by Daryl Calder. Donald Bennett up into the 9th spot in that beautiful red, white, and blue Turn 3 Racing Network number 13. Feeney sitting there in the 10th spot, a top 10 run so far for Brandon Feeney, down 4 since the beginning of the race. He started in 6th, and Hunter Reynolds just getting around Lee Campbell in the 14, so Hunter trying to get back on track. Hunter Reynolds working the inside lane of the 14 of Lee Campbell. Campbell stuck on the outside, maybe able to power out using the momentum of the corner. And it looks like he may. Doug Neal right there in the 77. They've got the draft going. And now Neal takes a peek to the inside. He doesn't take it. Instead, the 14 drops down low. The 14 now might be looking at Jared Hagedorn. What a run off the corner for the 14 of Lee Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell's hitting those corners just perfectly, Chris, and actually he just shot away from the other drivers of Campbell I'm talking about Campbell, but of Doug Neal and Hunter Reynolds right now. Those two battling it out right now. Reynolds stuck on that inside lane, the 77 of Neal up on that outside lane. That's going to help DB right there in the 31 right behind him catch up to the back bumper there of the 28. And he's going to bring along Feeney with him.
Yeah, Brandon Feeney staying right on the back bumper of Donald Bennett. And now Hunter Reynolds to the outside lane behind the 77 of Doug Neal. So all in line, nose to tail from Neal on back. They separate just a little bit, going through the corner, slightly different lanes. And Donald Bennett takes a look on the inside, couldn't pull the trigger. So he drops back, ready to reload. Down to the inside once again goes Donald Bennett. Again, not going to be able to do it, as Hunter Reynolds dropped down to the inside lane just ahead of them a little bit of a challenge here between the 14 of Lee Campbell and the 2 of Jared Hagedorn. Here comes the 77 though. Doug Neal going to try and make them all pay. Doug Neal on the inside heading into the corner. He's going to get around the 14, but now has his sights set on the 2 of Hagedorn. So Doug Neal starting to turn it on a little bit. The outside lane just a little too strong still. The 14 able to get around. Here comes Hunter Reynolds. Hunter Reynolds now to the outside of Doug Neal, and he's going to make that pass stick. Doug Neal is going to have to get back in line.
Look at the move the 28 is making right now, Chris, on the outside there of the 14. 14's getting a little help there for a second by the 77. Here comes the 31 of Donald Bennett. Broken into the top 10, up 3 positions now, sitting in 9th position.
Hunter Reynolds right on the back bumper of Jared Hagedorn, and it is a 5-car battle here for the 5th spot. Hagedorn has it. Everybody wants to crack into that top 5. Hagedorn doing a great job holding on to it, just running his line. Behind him, Hunter Reynolds trying to find a way around him. Reynolds down 2 since the drop of the green flag. Would like to try and get him back here before the first pit stop. Hunter Reynolds right on the back bumper again, using that draft. Tries to stay to the outside just a little bit longer, and that could mean that he's got a little bit of a handling issue. We'll find out later on, but the 28 does finally get around the 2, and so does the 14. Lee Campbell out of nowhere takes advantage of Jared Hagedorn as he stayed up on track just a little bit too long. Then he came down, and on the outside came Lee Campbell. Behind them, it's a battle for the 8th spot. Doug Neal in the 77 has it. Donald Bennett right on the back bumper trying to take it away. So again, it's a 5-car battle for a 5th spot. Let's move back up front. Take a look in on our race leader. It's Chris Brown being followed by Cody Levitt and Jamie Leach. Leach trying to get to the back bumper of Levitt still. Hasn't quite done it, but he's getting closer every single lap. Leach up 2 spots since the drop of the green flag.
And then right behind Leach, Chris, Nate Moyer still hanging on in that 00, trying to figure out what he can do to catch up to that 13 there of Leach. They're kind of spread out just a little bit from the lead pack there, but not doing too bad. And then just down below them, just a little ways here, about 6 seconds behind right now, is what I'm seeing. Hunter Reynolds in 5th place. Those top 4 cars still doing what they're doing and just creating a freight train, just pulling away from that back group right now.
If these guys could stay in a single file line from 5th on back, Hunter Reynolds, Lee Campbell, Jared Hagedorn, Doug Neal, and Donald Bennett, if they could stay single file, they might have a chance. I mean, look, there's 6-second difference between the 2 packs. That would be a pretty good challenge, but we'll see. Right now, Lee Campbell just trying to get to the back bumper of Hunter Reynolds. Of course, Jared Hagedorn's trying to do the same thing. Doug Neal, Donald Bennett. And it looks like we have some early pit stops coming on lap number 15. Nate Maurer, Hunter Reynolds, and look at the line of cars coming down along with our race leader. So, new race leader, Cody Levitt in the 38, being chased down by Jamie Leach. Lee Campbell in the 14 stays out. He's all by himself. Nobody around him in the 3rd spot. Brandon Feeney stays out. He's in 4th, and Daryl Calder in the 5th spot. Those are the 5 drivers that stayed out on track. Everybody else coming down for service on their cup cars.
And I expect those drivers come down here, if not this time, then within the next 2 laps, Chris. I'm already hearing some drivers calling out that they are coming down into the pits.
Yeah, Cody Levitt, Jamie Leach bringing it down as they try and woe it up. And that puts the focus on Lee Campbell. What's Campbell going to do in the 14? He, too, is going to bring it down pit road. And so is Brandon Feeney and Daryl Calder. So all 5 drivers coming down together. Nate Maurer out on track is going to be the race leader in the 00. How did Maurer do it? I'll tell you exactly how he did it. Nate Maurer did not take tires. Chris Brown did. So everybody choosing, well, just about everybody choosing to double stint these first tires. 3 drivers did not so far. We'll wait to see how the other drivers come out of pit road. So far, we've got some very interesting strategies going on, Rick. And I expect to see more as this race continues on. But right now, Cody Levitt out in front of Jamie Leach and Nate Maurer. The gap between 1st and 2nd, about 0.8 of a second. And we'll see if that's able to continue on or if Jamie Leach and Maurer are able to catch up.
Well, they're getting nose to tail now, Chris, so that's going to help out quite a bit. But let me tell you who's coming fast. That's that 1 car who's sitting in 4th position right now. He's got some fresh Goodyears on his machine, and it shows right now.
Yeah, Chris Brown, one of the only drivers to take tires. He's not the only driver, but one of. It looks like 4 drivers took tires that time by, and Brown has some ground to make up to try and battle it out for the top 3 to make those tires worth something. Meanwhile, up front, Cody Levitt, Jamie Leach, and Nate Maurer all leading the way. Behind Chris Brown in the 4th spot, it's going to be Hunter Reynolds up to the 5th position. Doug Neal in 6th, Jared Hagedorn in 7th. Sir Danny Venezuela running in the 8th spot. Jason Griffith in 9th, and Brandon Feeney rounding out the top 10. Then it's going to be Daryl Calder, Donald Bennett, Lee Campbell, and Orlando Rivera rounding out the field. Cody Levitt's about to get busy, Rick. He's going to have to start driving out of the rearview mirror as Jamie Leach and Nate Maurer are really starting to catch him now. That draft starting to help them out, and they are coming strong.
Yeah, I mean, Leach is definitely feeling the draft out of the 38, too, as you see he's starting to suck up to the back bumper here, and he's going to bring Maurer right with him, so you're absolutely right, Chris. The free ride is now almost over.
Meanwhile, we see just behind them the 1 car starting to really reel them in. So look out for Chris Brown as he is laying down some serious lap times right now, trying to get to that third place runner of Nate Maurer. And I think if he catches him, Rick, it's going to be lights out. The 00 in the third spot, the 13 in second. Trying to chase down Cody Levitt. Meanwhile, being chased down by the 1, and it didn't take any time at all for Chris Brown to get there. Brown right on the back bumper and now down to the inside. Brown takes away the third spot, and it's not going to be long before he takes away the second spot. Nate Maurer moves down, or well, he was going to move down with the 1. Didn't do it because the 1 moved up on track. Now the 1 stays down. Can Maurer do it as well? No, he can't. The tire's not going to allow it to happen. And Chris Brown back up in the second. Cody Levitt now knows that the 1 is going to be there. Out the rear view mirror, Cody Levitt is looking at Chris Brown's car going, uh-oh.
I was right. Because the 1's not going to be back there for too long, Chris.
I mean, if you're
draft right now,
if you're good enough to wreck Roger, you're pretty much good enough to do anybody in. So we'll see. Brown to the outside, now to the inside as he makes a fake move. Cody Levitt just going to hold his line. Here comes the 1 down the front stretch. And before we get to turn number 1, Chris Brown is our race leader. Lap 20 out of 60. We're a third of the way done. And Chris Brown has just regained the race lead. This race,
Brown only has 2 sets left, Chris. So I'm sure there's some other drivers kind of wishing that they did. Like you said, only 4 drivers took tires, and that was Donald Bennett, Lee Campbell, Orlando Rivera, and of course Chris Brown. We just saw him drive right back up through the field. So I'm sure you got to save a set somewhere.
Well, that's it. And I was just about to go there, Rick. This race is far from over because tire strategy, pit strategy is going to mean the world here. All the cars are pretty well separated at this point. The chances of a caution pretty slim unless somebody kind of mixes it up a little bit. We're looking like a green flag run for a very long time here tonight.
Man, Hunter Reynolds has some time to make up to catch up to the back bumper of Maurer right now. Reynolds hanging out in 5th position. Kind of all by himself. Doug Neal is a little ways, almost 2 seconds behind Reynolds.
Reynolds is starting to chop in a little bit on the time ahead of Nate Maurer ahead of him. At time right now, 4.8 seconds. So we'll keep an eye on that gap as this race continues on. Doug Neal sitting in the 6th spot. Again, trying to catch Hunter Reynolds. Danny Venezuela is, well, got his mirror full. Because Jared Hagedorn on the outside trying to take away a spot. Hagedorn trying to be a thorn in the side of Danny Venezuela. Venezuela on the inside. Going to try and hold on to it. And we have not seen that work here tonight. The outside lane just able to hold on to the momentum. We'll see if it's going to work this time. Off the corner. And Donald Bennett moves up behind Hagedorn. That could spell lights out for the 04. The 14 comes on the inside. So we're 2x2 racing here. And this is for the 7th spot. We got 6 cars challenging for the 7th spot right now. Awesome racing. Donald Bennett squeezes down to the inside of Hagedorn. Can he make this one stick? He's going to have to move up quick. No, not able to do it. Donald Bennett, though, up to 8th spot. Here comes the purple car of Orlando Rivera on the inside of the 14. Lee Campbell. Campbell just squeezes down below.
Oh.
Very, very close driving as Donald Bennett finds the turbo button and gets himself ahead of the 2 car. And here comes Lee Campbell as well. And look at this 3 wide here at Pocono.
Yeah, Hagedorn stuck on that outside lane. Venezuela stuck in the middle.
Oh, Orlando Rivera
Oh.
couldn't hold on to it on the inside, gets sideways, able to hold on to the car, but loses a bunch of time on track. Oh, wicked racing here. Biggest mover of the race right now, the 31 of Donald Bennett. He's up 5 since the drop of the green flag some 24 laps ago. And Donald Bennett running in the 7th spot. A couple of cars behind him. It has been entertaining to say the least here, as we've got a bunch of cars fighting out for a spot. Right
Looks like
now,
they're setting up to do it again too.
yeah, they are. Right now, it's going to be Jared Hagedorn leading the way of Orlando Rivera again on the inside, Danny Venezuela on the outside, and just behind them, the 98 of Jason Griffith. Those 4 cars now battling for the 9th spot, and Hagedorn just kind of driving away as the other cars are battling side by side. Orlando Rivera going to make this pass stick, though, over Danny Venezuela. Venezuela back to the 11th spot after that pass from Rivera.
And right now, Hagedorn's like, just leave me alone, guys. I worked hard to get to where I am.
Yeah, Hagedorn. Oh, here comes Orlando Rivera on the inside, and he has got a head of steam. Can he make that inside work? Is it time that the inside will work? We're going to find out right here as they head down the straightaway. Rivera going to make that pass stick with a 2 drop down mode. No, he doesn't. So Orlando Rivera takes over the 9th spot from Jared Hagedorn, and now so too does Danny Venezuela as he looks to the inside. Heading into turn number 3, coming out now is the 04 on the inside. He's going to make that pass work as Hagedorn falls in behind him, and that allows Jason Griffith to try and catch him up. Take a look into our race leader. He's got a nice, comfortable lead, 7.64 seconds. Chris Brown over Cody Levitt, and that is those new tires just working super well right now for Chris Brown. I mean, he is gone.
He is gone.
Behind Levitt, it's going to be Jamie Leach and Nate Maurer. Those two battling it out for 3rd spot. Maurer trying to get to the back bumper of Leach. Leach having a fantastic run here tonight. He's been inside the top 5 all night long and mostly in the top 3. Go back to the 6th spot. That's going to be Donald Bennett. Behind him, a storm is brewing. Doug Neal, Lee Campbell battling it out for spot. Neal right now is going to hold on to the 7th spot. Lee Campbell falls in behind him in the 14. Campbell now drops down to the inside. He's going to try and take it away. The 14 of Lee Campbell took that spot away. The inside starting to become a real threat now. The track starting to rubber in.
It is. And also, I think the 77 of Neal is having a little bit of handling issue right now, Chris, because he actually let Bennett and Campbell by him. So his tires definitely worn down quite a bit here. And of course, Campbell and Bennett have new tires, so.
Yeah, Neal does not. Yeah. That's making a big difference out on track right now. Taking a look at a gap, race leader, Chris Brown has developed. It's almost going to be 10 seconds, 9.7 and growing quickly. Those new tires just doing everything that Chris Brown wants them to do right now over Cody Levitt and Jamie Leach. Levitt and Leach starting to get a little bit of a gap behind them, and Nate Maurer starting to move in on Jamie Leach in that 3rd spot.
I mean, most drivers are just getting into and out of turn number 2, Chris, and here goes Brown across the start-finish line. So that just tells you how much of a lead he actually has right now. Cody Levitt in the 38, he's just getting ready to hit the start-finish line right now. And I hear some drivers calling out already for some pit stops. So here we go again.
More green flag pit stops starting to happen. Donald Bennett, Doug Neal, Orlando Rivera mid-pack drivers coming down pit road to see what they can do to their cars to try and make them a little bit quicker. Meanwhile, Chris Brown just tooling around Pocono like it's a Sunday drive on a Tuesday. Last time Cody Levitt stayed out an extra lap. We're going to see if he reverses that this time. Not going to have a chance. Chris Brown is going to bring it down pit road. He's going to give up a 10.77 second lead over Cody Levitt. And you see Levitt going to stay out on track. Still has not caught Chris Brown. In fact, Chris Brown is going to lead that last lap because he got past the start finish line before Cody Levitt did. But here on lap 30, Cody Levitt has just assumed the race lead going into turn number 1. Jamie Leach still out on track along with Lee Campbell in the 14. So let's take a look in on Cody Levitt, drop down into his cockpit and see what he's going to do when he comes back around to pit road entrance. These guys are going to have to do something kind of special here if they're going to beat Brown. Brown has been super fast all night long. And that time in, Chris Brown just took fuel. And the only driver inside, well, actually I can't say that right now. As Levitt coming down pit road, we'll see if Campbell does as well. He does. Next up would be Darrell Calder in the 26. And it sounds like he's going to come in along with Brandon Feeney. There goes Chris Brown. Brown going to reassume the race lead. So pit stops cycling through, just about done. And we're going to find out who is going to be running in second spot here in just a moment. It looks like it might be Nate Maurer, but don't want to make that call yet. And now I will as he starts going up the list. Oh no, Cody Levitt's going to make it back out on track just ahead of Maurer. So Mauer's going to have to go around him. And he's going to do that because he's got the head of steam going. So Nate Maurer does get ahead of Cody Levitt based on their pit stops. Jamie Leach just falling back to the 4th spot. So he's just outside of that top 3 right now. Biggest mover of the race, it's going to be Donald Bennett. He's up to the 5th spot in the number 31.
Yeah, Bennett had a really good fuel-only pit stop there, Chris, so allow him to move up into the top 5 there. Now, I was kind of concerned there. I talked a little earlier about the 77 of Doug Neal having some issues, Chris. He was on pit road for an extended amount of time to get some of that damage repaired. So Neal falling back down to 13th position right now, unfortunately. So the 77 definitely has some work to make up.
Oh, he's got a lot of time to make up as he was in his pit stall for 54.8 seconds. Total time on pit lane, Rick, was a 1:32.05. That's a huge amount of time to give up on track. We're just over halfway done, and Chris Brown is leading the way. Brown's got a pretty solid lead over Nate Maurer right now, 17.3 seconds. That gap is closing as Nate Maurer and Cody Levitt both have fresh tires on their vehicle. We'll see if they can close that gap up really tight. They kind of need to, as they did not take tires on that first stint. Chris Brown did, and he built himself up like a 10-second lead, or almost 11-second lead.
Almost 11, yeah.
So we know fresh tires are a big deal, and we'll see if they're able to catch them. Let's see. Last time by, Chris Brown was able to do a 55.60. Nate Maurer, 54.05. That's a second a lap right now. Quicker than our race leader. That is going to chop away at that race lead pretty quickly. Cody Levitt right to the back door of Nate Maurer. Levitt was looking for second spot and had to back out. Didn't have the right line. So he'll reload and try it again. A good run heading into turn number 3, but he's going to stay single file with Nate Maurer. And that's the right call, Rick. Right now, he's got to kind of use that draft. They both do. And they have to look out for Jamie Leach, who's coming out of nowhere in that 4th spot as Cody Levitt drops down to the inside, heading into turn 1. Levitt looking for that 2nd spot over Nate Maurer. That's going to bring the 13 of Jamie Leach in even closer.
That's what they need to do, though, Chris. And those 3 cars need to figure out who's the fastest, who's the slowest. And right now, I think that's the way that it's kind of sitting right now. Leach needs to get to the back bumper of Moyer. And then they just need the freight train around and put a little herning on Chris Brown, because his tires now, since he got fuel only this last pit stop, are starting to feel some wear, and I'm definitely sure of that. I mean, right now the gap is already down to 14.5 right now.
Oh, even less than that. It is dropping like a stone in water. 14 seconds even as of right now, and it is continuously dropping. It's sub 14 seconds already. I mean, these new tires are absolutely showing their worth right now. So that first round of pit stops, when 4 drivers took tires, may not have been the right call here, Rick. We're gonna have to wait and see how this one pans out. With 26 laps to go, we know they're gonna have to stop at least one more time, and possibly 2 even. So, man, tires. Yeah,
it could definitely change a lot of things, Chris. I mean, right now, everybody from 2nd to, to 5th have fresh tires.
So that's Levitt, Maurer, Leach, and Hunter Reynolds. Reynolds running in the 5th spot right now. Kind of by himself. He does have the 04 of Danny Venezuela just ahead of him. Venezuela, unfortunately, being scored a lap down in the 04. But the 28, kind of using them, Rick, right now as part of that draft, as we've been talking about a good portion of the night here. Draft's so important, and it's not that Danny is slow, so we might as well use them for the draft.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's what Leach was kind of doing there with Maurer also, and Leach just took over 3rd position from Maurer. He had a good run going, and Maurer just kind of stayed high and let Leach go down on the inside. Now Leach starting to catch up to the back bumper of the Vegas Golden Knight machine of Levitt.
Yeah, so right now, Jamie Leach absolutely putting the laps down. One of the fastest drivers last time by. Actually, right behind Cody Levitt as the 2nd fastest driver. So Levitt with about a 1/10 of a difference in lap time last time by. So Jamie Leach very fast right now. Let's take a look at the gap up to the race leader, and it is just about down to 10 seconds. So they have knocked off about 7 seconds of that gap between themselves and Chris Brown. And Brown is really struggling with those old tires. Last time by, almost a 56-second lap. His best lap time, a 53.66. That just kind of tells you how much drop-off Brown is feeling with these tires.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling quite a bit right now, Chris. I mean, he still has a good lead. I mean, 10 seconds is, now it's below 10 seconds is what it's showing me. So still, I wouldn't say a comfortable lead, but he's got a good lead.
Yeah, I don't think anything short of having everybody a lap down is a comfortable lead.
Exactly.
Especially, you know he's looking down at the black box going, how are these guys catching me so quickly? Why didn't I take tires?
Well, he used the first set there on that first pit stop, so I mean he knows what's going on.
Well, right now what's going on is the lead has been cut down to sub 9 seconds, closer to 8.5 to Cody Levitt. 23 laps to go, and you have this feeling like they're gonna pit one more time with maybe 19 or 18 laps to go.
That's what I would be thinking right now.
Brown, I'm sure, is going to take tires. And if I'm Levitt and Leach, I might be thinking I'm going to have to follow the leader down. You don't want them out there for any time more than you have to on fresh tires if you don't have them yourself.
Exactly.
ultimately what they'd like is to try and close up that 7.5 second gap between Brown and Levitt, and then have them come down pit road so they're equal and have a best chance at winning. We're going to find out what's going to happen here. 22 laps to go. I would expect pit stops here within the next 4 or so laps. That's my guess. Last time down for Chris Brown was lap number 29. 2 drivers being scored a lap down right now. Doug Neal in the 77 and Danny Venezuela in the 04. We kind of documented the fact that Doug Neal was on pit road for an extended amount of time last time down, and so was Danny Venezuela, as he was actually down for about a second longer than Doug Neal. And boy, do you lose a lot of time when you do that.
Yeah, you do.
Gap from first to second, 6.56 seconds, and it's starting to slow down a little bit, Rick.
Yeah, as Levitt and Leach's tires start getting worn down, Chris, it's definitely been slowing down, but it's still ticking down. That's a good sign.
Yeah, there's still about a second per lap difference for these drivers. Last time by, well, we'll do it this time by, I guess. 56.03 for Chris Brown, a 55.17 for Levitt, and Levitt's going to have to try and find a little bit more speed, because if they do come down in the next couple of laps, like I'm thinking, he's not going to have enough time to take off all of that race lead that Chris Brown has built up. He'll be down into like the 3 second range, somewhere in the 3 second range, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Brown on equal tires with everybody has proven tonight that he's been a little bit faster. He took the pole here tonight and has led pretty much every lap. I mean, the only time he didn't lead is when he came down pit road.
Yeah, and even one time that he did come down pit road, Chris, he still led the lap.
That's true. Yeah. The gap right now, well, I'm waiting 5 seconds even. It is going a little bit slower. And it's funny that it's going that much slower, because it is a second, almost to the 100th difference per lap. Right now, the gap 4.73. So Cody Levitt really is chomping into it. He's already made up 13 seconds in this stint, which is nothing at all to be ashamed of.
No. I can tell you, Levitt's tires are very worn, Chris. I just watched him. He almost hit the outside wall there, coming out of turn 2.
You know, right now, our race leader's got a little bit of a challenge in Doug Neal, the lap down car, number 77, as he has caught our race leader, and he is looking to try and get his lap back the old-fashioned way. If he can stay to the inside of Chris Brown, boy, you know, he could actually stop him from coming down pit road when he chooses to. So, boy, that's something to look out for, too. Doug Neal in the 13th spot, trying to get back on the lead lap by passing our race leader.
Yeah, Neal's been putting in a lot of work, too, Chris, because at one point, Brown was way ahead of Neal. So Neal working with that extended pit stop, fixing that damage and everything. So the 77 definitely feeling a lot better now, I can tell, because he's still right on the back bumper there of Brown's number 1.
Yeah, the SimBox PC number 77, driven by Doug Neal, really putting the pressure on the number 1 of Chris Brown. In fact, we're down to 17 laps to go. So there goes my theory, Rick. Right out the door.
I'm sure within the next couple laps, I'm going to start hearing drivers come over across the radio that they're going to be pitting.
Well, every lap that Chris Brown stays out, it's a good lap for Cody Levitt, as right now the gap back down to him is 3.5 seconds.
Ooh, huge. Look who's already coming down, Chris, sitting in 6th position.
Yeah, Orlando Rivera coming down. Donald Bennett going to bring it down. Bennett due for tires, so he's going to try and help himself out. Green flag pit stop starting to happen once again here with 17 laps to go. Our race leader, Chris Brown, is going to have to try and come down pit road here pretty soon, I'm thinking. He's going to stay out one more time. And the 77 of Doug Neal going to bring it down pit road. Donald Bennett, Jason Griffith, Doug Neal, Orlando Rivera, all on pit road right now.
Well, it's going to change a lot of things, Chris, if drivers take tires. I mean, we know that they can go 16 laps on a set of tires.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. But now it's just going to be a matter of who's going to win this thing, man. This has been a great race. Brought to you by SimBox PC. Make sure you check them out over on Facebook. SimBox PC. If you're looking for a button box, right now, Cody Levitt trying to suck in our race leader, Chris Brown. The gap was a little over 17 seconds, now down to almost 2 seconds flat. Levitt is putting down some serious lap times. Chris Brown's gonna bring it in. Our race leader's bringing it in, and here comes Cody Levitt and Jamie Leach, second and third, bringing it down pit road along with our race leader. And that's something I was totally expecting, actually. In fourth spot, Daryl Calder, if he stays out, would assume the race lead. That'd be dangerous. The last time on pit road, lap number 30. So I would almost expect him to come down as well.
Yeah, I expect the 26 Calder to come down also, Chris, and there he goes right now.
Yeah, here comes Brandon Feeney. And the 14's going to take the odd way in, I guess. That's Lee Campbell. Nate Maurer in the 00. Going to stay on track. Maurer, the last time he was in was lap number 44. So he's feeling a little fresh out there, Rick.
He is.
Our race leader right now, Cody Levitt, who was able to get out of pit road very quickly. Rick, what's going on with Chris Brown? He is still on pit road. Now just starting to come out. I think he had to serve a penalty maybe.
Oh, no.
Had to have with that time. Chris Brown back down into the 10th spot after leading just about every lap here tonight. Cody Levitt's our race leader. Jamie Leach and Nate Maurer second and third. Hunter Reynolds in the 4th spot. Brandon Feeney's made his way into the top 5. Behind him, it's Jared Hagedorn in the 2. Looking for that top 5 finish. Daryl Calder in the 26, running in the 7th spot. Donald Bennett running in the 8th spot. Lee Campbell back down to 9th, and Chris Brown in 10th spot. But the big story right now, Chris Brown extended amount of time on pit road, and that gave Cody Levitt everything he needed to try and win this one. 14 laps to go, and Levitt leading the way over Jamie Leach.
That's huge for Brown. That's unfortunate. It had to be either a speeding on pit road or... When he came in, he was safe, so that was kind of interesting. But right now, Cody Levitt doing everything that he can possibly do. Leach trying to catch up to him. As you see Leach right there in the broadcast, getting kind of close there. We'll see if he has anything for Levitt right now. Levitt doing a very good job. Timed his pit stop just right. Unfortunate, Chris Brown still in 10th position right now. So Levitt is definitely liking that. As they come down the front stretch across, it's only going to be 12 laps left to go here tonight from Pocono. Leach has a little bit of time to catch up to the 38 of Levitt, and he's definitely pulling in right now. He has the draft. Maurer's a little ways away, Chris, so right now it's really all against Cody Levitt and Leach. See what Leach can do. He's, usually in turns 1, he's really getting up to the back bumper of Levitt. Let's see what he can do here as they come into turn number 2.
Yeah, turn 2, Jamie Leach trying to get to the back bumper. He's got to get to the back bumper in order to try and make a move happen against Cody Levitt. Leach in the 13, running in that second spot, up 3 since the drop of the green flag, and with 12 laps to go, may be able to put out a challenge against Cody Levitt here in the 38. On to the front stretch we go, and across the start finish line, 11 laps to go for Cody Levitt, trying to hold on for a race win.
We just go around the 77 of Doug Neal. Looks like he's still having some issues there with that 77 Chevrolet. Kind of unfortunate. Mauer sitting in third, Chris, but he's still 5.3 seconds behind the leader. Or the leaders, I should say.
Yeah, and right behind him, it's Hunter Reynolds in the 28. Reynolds may not be happy unless he can get himself into the top 3. So Hunter trying to close in the gap here on the 00 of Nate Mauer. Hunter Reynolds looking good in that Ford Mustang. Wants to be the only Ford in the top 3 here tonight. Well, maybe he doesn't want to be the only Ford, but he's working to try and be.
I was going to say he's trying to be.
Up front, Cody Levitt still continuing to lead the way. 10 laps to go. And look at the zigzag action happening here for Jamie Leach, trying to stay in the draft of the 38.
And that's exactly what Levitt's trying to do, Chris, trying to break that draft from Leach.
Nice, calm zigzagging. And Leach was able to follow him every step of the way. Did break the draft just a little bit. You can see on track the gap increased for just a moment. Leach starting to bring it back in, though, by staying on the back bumper of the 38. Meanwhile, back in the third place spot, it's Nate Mauer under the challenge of Hunter Reynolds. Reynolds on the 28 trying to get there. It's almost the same battle we're seeing for the race lead right now. About the same gap in car. So it's going to be amazing to kind of watch this one as we near the race finish. 9 laps to go. And again on this front stretch, Cody Levitt dropping it down to the inside, trying to break that draft. Cody Levitt heading into turn number 1. Jamie Leach going up high. And that's going to allow the 38 to kind of sneak away just a little bit. Jamie Leach looking for a race win, trying to track down Cody Levitt.
We have a new driver in the top 5, Chris, and it's the driver who has moved up the most since the drop of the green flag. 9 positions is what that is, and it's the 26 of Daryl Calder. Calder getting around Hagedorn, taking over that top 5 position right now.
Yeah, meanwhile, in front of him, Hunter Reynolds and Nate Mauer still getting it on, much like our race leaders, Jamie Leach and Cody Levitt. 8 laps to go for Cody Levitt to try and keep Leach at bay here at Pocono.
And Leach really just got up to the back bumper of Levitt's number 38. Chris wasn't able to do anything out of turn number 2. But man, I thought Leach was gonna like jump down onto the inside and just try something, but he stayed and held his line.
Right now, I think he's just trying to feel out what Levitt's going to do under different circumstances. You see Leach running slightly different lines every single lap, and that could be part of the feeling out process. But what he doesn't want to do is he doesn't want to do what he's doing right now, and that's falling back to like almost a 5/10 second of a second differential between himself and Levitt. He really has to stay a little bit closer than that. On to the front stretch we go with 7 laps to go, and you see him starting to bring it back, and that's really what he needs to do. He needs to stay on the back bumper of that 38. Let the draft do the work for you.
Yeah, it also gets that miracle of the black bumper there of Leach, so it gives Levitt something else to think about, you know? Maybe cause him to make a little mistake or something, but right now Levitt just having a nice Tuesday drive as they head into turn number 2. And last lap, this is where I really saw Leach get right up to the back bumper of Levitt, not able to do it now, Chris. So it might be losing the draft a little bit. I mean, he's still feeling it there, but it's not quite as strong as it was.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit closer Right now, the gap differential about 4 car lengths or 4/10 of a second, depending on how you want to call it. And back onto the front stretch we go. We're going to see if it's any different here for the 38 and the 13, and it's really not. Leach just barely able to sniff out that draft, and it may not be enough. Levitt may have broken it just enough to be able to stay out in front. We're going to keep an eye on that as we go back over to our third place runner. That's Nate Maurer. Maurer has got a heck of a lead now over the 28 of Hunter Reynolds. Something happened with the 28 car to get him shaken up, and he has dropped way back now. Still in the 4th spot, but lost a ton of time on track.
Yeah, Hunter Reynolds, something going on there with the 28 Chris. He actually just called back to Doug Neal in the 77, who's right behind him. Doug Neal sitting in 12th position, but Hunter Reynolds said, go ahead, buy me.
Well,
So I'm not sure.
That could be a draft thing with 5 laps to go. I'm also watching this battle right now, waging for the top 5 spot as Daryl Calder has it. And
Ooh,
Jared
77
Hagedorn
wall.
looking for 77 into the wall, but able to keep it going right in front of Hunter Reynolds. That had to be in a whoops moment.
I think Reynolds might have might need to change his pants after that one.
Underwear check. And back up front, Cody Levitt is extending that race lead up to 7/10 of a second now as he's starting to get a little bit of the draft of the car in front of him. And that would be the 98 of Jason Griffith trying to stay on the lead lap. And what he's really doing, Rick, right now, he's pulling our race leader around this track.
Exactly.
That is not what Jamie Leach wants to see. 4 laps to go here at the Tricky Triangle, known as Pocono. Or maybe it's Pocono known as the Tricky Triangle. I don't know. I give up.
It's the Tricky Triangle, bro. That's all you need to know.
What I know right now is Cody Leach leading the way. 7/10 of a gap, 7/10 of a second gap between himself and Jamie Leach. Hunter Reynolds in the 3rd spot after Nate Maurer having a problem. So Hunter Reynolds now back up another 3rd spot. Daryl Calder sits in the top 5. Jared Hagedorn right behind him in the 2, trying to catch him. Trying to get to that top 5. Hagedorn up 5 spots. Daryl Calder up 9 since the drop of the green flag. Big movers there.
Let me tell you somebody else who's been doing a lot of moving, Chris. That is Chris Brown. We know that he fell way back. He's sitting in 7th position now. I mean, an unfortunate night here with only 3 left to go for Brown, being very dominant here, but he's battled back pretty hard.
Yeah, Chris Brown can see the 2 cars in front of him, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time to catch him. Very unfortunate for the 1 car. He had this race. I'm pretty certain he had this race won, but a bit of an issue on pit road is all it takes to take that away from you. And Cody Levitt going to try and use up the rest of what is in that number 38 here tonight and win one here at Pocono. Out of turn 3 onto the front stretch. He's going to see the white and the checkered flag from our flagman. 2 laps to go here at Pocono. 5 miles is what Cody Levitt has got to lead for. Jamie Leach trying to close the gap, but it's 8/10 of a second right now.
Look
Leach.
at Brandon Feeney still in chat. He's in chat, Chris. He's driving. He's saving fuel.
No more saving fuel, Brandon. It's time to go in that 83. Feeney in the top 10, but up top, it's Cody Levitt being followed by Jamie Leach, and Levitt with a smoking lap right now, added about 2/10 of a second to his race lead. 1.15, and it's growing. Cody Levitt is letting it rip here at Pocono. Next time by, it's going to be a white flag here as he goes on to the front stretch. The white flag being displayed for Cody Levitt. 2.5 miles to go. 3 corners for Cody Levitt to win this one. Can Jamie Leach do anything to try and get to the back bumper? Heading through turn number 1. Now on to the stretch is the 38 of Cody Levitt. Jamie Leach trying everything he can to get there, but the gap seems to be growing. Levitt found the turbo button and he is using it. Through turn number 2. Onto this stretch. And Levitt has a 1.2 second lead. Leach is starting to bite into it a little bit. Not going to be enough as Cody Levitt comes through turn number 3 onto the front stretch. Cody Levitt is going to win here at Pocono. The checkered flag is out and Levitt is our race winner. Jamie Leach brings it home in second spot, and we're waiting for a third spot. He's coming out of turn number 3 right now. It's going to be Hunter Reynolds coming home in third.
And I think that's what Beanie was talking about, Chris. Actually, the 77 moved up to help Reynolds save fuel because Reynolds almost out of fuel. Wow.
Cody did an outstanding job and absolutely had a blast out there. I'm sure we're going to find out. And post-race interviews coming up right after this. We're back live here at Pocono, and finishing in third, having to get a little bit of a push from Daryl Calder, is going to be our third place finisher, the driver of the number 28. It's going to be Hunter Reynolds. Hunter, let's talk about it. When did you run out of gas, and did you know it was coming? I mean, a third place finish, I'm not going to kind of blow by that, but let's talk about the gas situation first.
Oh man, yeah, I'm happy to get third for sure. So like halfway through the race, I think I was like, man, I pitted one lap too early, I think. And then it was kind of showing me, hey, you can maybe get one more lap if you try really hard. So I followed Valenzuela there for a bit, and shout out to him for giving me a tug. And then that entire last fuel run, I followed, oh gosh, I think it was Nathan, and then I followed Doug. So I appreciate those guys for pulling me along. And then I ran out of gas coming out of turn 3, had to clutch in, but we made it very, very close.
It was very close, and I'll tell you, the car actually looked really stable out there tonight. What was your view of the Mustang as you finished in third?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I love Pocono. One of my better tracks, I think. I got in an earlier incident there with Feeney. I'll have to go look at that one, but car was a little tight for me. Not sure how I liked the draft package. I didn't particularly like that at all, but yeah, the car was handling good. I could get it to rotate on the center, and just had to save the tires tonight. It was a fun race.
All right, bud. Who do you have on the 28 that you need to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank FSR. I'd like to thank you guys in the booth. Turn 3 Racing Network do a great job. All the league admins, all the friends and family watching, and of course everybody else watching. We appreciate you.
All right. Our top 3 finisher, 3rd place runner, the number 28 tonight, driven by Hunter Reynolds, Rick.
And then in second place, we have the 13 car, Jamie Leach. You got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, bro?
Yes, sir.
And now I got to ask you, how much gas did you have left?
Oh, when I crossed the line, I probably had less than half a lap left.
Wow. What good racing, man. I mean, it was great for you. I mean, you're up 3 positions from the drop of the green flag, so a good night there for you.
Yeah, I owe it all to Cody. I was on his pit strategy, and he's the master of pit strategy. So I just stuck with him the whole night, and it turned out well for me.
Well, I think it definitely worked out for you. But next week we head to Auto Club. How you feeling about that?
I feel pretty good about Auto Club. I usually do fairly well there, so hopefully I can carry that into next week.
I have a feeling that you will, man. Congratulations once again. Who do you got on the 13 to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank all the admins in the Salt Flat League. Like to thank Cody Levitt and you guys up in the booth. You guys do a great job as always.
And of course, you want to thank Great Lakes Brewing Company also.
That too.
See, I got you, buddy. Hey,
Thank you.
Congratulations, bud.
Thanks.
All right, that's the 13, driven by Jamie Leach, to a 2nd place finish here tonight. And that leaves us with one driver to talk to. It's the driver of the number 38, able to do some donuts because he had enough fuel. It's Cody Levitt. Cody, Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, guys, gotcha.
All right, you did some donuts. Are you out of gas yet?
Oh, yeah, I'm out.
Oh, perfect. I love it when you finish it off right on doing donuts there on the stripes. That's awesome. Congratulations to your race win here tonight. What was the key to winning here tonight?
I think it all started going when we pit 1 lap later than everyone else. When I noticed that we could do that, I was like, all right, we should be good from here. Just 2 more pit stops, And then I don't know what happened to Chris there. I don't think we would have won that if he didn't have issues in pit road or whatever happened.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was some sort of issue on pit road that caused him to be on pit road for a little over a minute and a half. But regardless, I mean, you guys were catching him in that stint before when he did not take tires. At one point, it was a 17-second gap between him and you guys dropped it down to a 3-second gap, a little less than 3 seconds actually, when you came down pit road together. That was a heck of a run, and I think that may have set you up pretty well for you. You actually put pressure on him.
Yeah, I definitely think we put pressure on him that way. 'Cause I mean, I know he did take tires that first run, and he got pretty far ahead of us there. So I was a little worried. I feel like the fuel window is a little too short here, but it worked out in our favor, looks like. So.
Well, it certainly did, as you came across and received the checkered flag. One more question for you here. Hunter kind of alluded to it a little bit, but I want to talk to you about the draft. How did you feel the draft was working tonight?
I mean, I don't know. It was okay. I just stuck behind Chris that entire run, so I wasn't trying to pass. I was just trying to save fuel. I don't know if I could have passed him if I wanted to, but I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. And who do you have to thank on the 38?
Got to thank you guys up in the booth for putting this broadcast on. You guys do a great job. Got to thank Bromley for painting the car. Got to thank Donald for putting the league on. Got to thank Danny. Got to thank Jamie for, being a cheerleader and, helping me out here as well. Always good support from him. Got to thank the Golden Knights for being on my car, and Roger also. Got to shout out Roger.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he got me into this stuff, so it's kind of a must.
Oh, all right. I guess. I mean, if you have to, it's fair enough. Once again, Cody, congratulations. The driver of the number 38 bringing it home in first place tonight. And that is going to do it for us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, live here at Pocono. Hope you enjoyed it. Can't wait to see you again next Tuesday night as we bring all the action live once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.